All right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. All right, so I really wanted to talk. Number one, I saw a very disturbing YouTube video of Dave Ramsey, and this is just an example. If you guys want, you can take a look at it. I'll make sure I put it into the description down below. But basically, on the Dave Ramsey show, obviously, they're not really fond of crypto or anything like that. They really talk, um, excuse me, as you guys know, sorry about that. As you guys know, I always talk about at the end of every single one of my videos, do your own research, do your own research, do your own research. And the reason why I tell you that is because if you don't, you can get suckered into scams, right? So there's things that are real and some companies and cryptocurrency projects that are scams. That's just the reality of it. That's the reality of this world, right? I like how they talk about in this video. They specifically talk about, oh well, the guy on the TikTok video, he was you guys, if you guys been in the crypto space, you've seen it. Talk about how much gains you will have a year from now if you had if you had to use your stimulus, your 1,200 stimulus, into certain projects, right? And obviously you would be up. You would be up for during that time period. So, but what they were doing in this video, they were making fun of, first off, they didn't even know about any of these projects. And again, that's why I tell you to do your research. But I also tell you guys, most importantly, to always listen to what people say. Listen and hear the bias in their opinions when you're hearing people speak. And one of the first things that they stated was, we don't even know these projects. This person or this individual that made this TikTok video, he said the top 10. He said the top 10 at the time. So basically, the top 10 at the time would have outperformed pretty much anything. One of the things that they were making fun and poking of was, oh well, if I put it in November, I would be down now, or it's a roller coaster, it's 24/7 and everything. If you guys listen to what they're saying, they're basically saying that the way the current world works, and we believe in our institutions, and we believe in what the government has provided for us to follow, right? And they were talking about. I have a lot of things I want to say, but better stay on topic. You guys know how I can get way off topic, but I had a couple of issues, and I probably should have written it down just so I can be more pinpoint accuracy. But obviously, this is just a quick response. I will go into numbers later on. So one of the things that these guys were saying was, oh well, they don't tell people, if why are you listening to these these people, this guy who makes a TikTok video, and I don't know who he is, I don't know how accurate his statements are. We can always go back and look at it, right? That's the crazy thing about cryptocurrency, is you can always take a look. Anything electronic, really, you can go back and take a look at the records and see the accuracy of exactly what it is. Also, you have a couple of guys here that are basically talking out of their, and I'm trying to be respectful, because I'm gonna say this. I like some of the advice that the Dave Ramsey show provides to people to really help them get back on track, to get out of debt, and to move forward. Unfortunately, they don't really understand the archaic ways of doing that, because if you do what they do and go into the stocks or going to these 401ks and IRAs and Roth and stuff like that, they're taking your money, and you have no control over your money. And they're talking about all of these things in these institutions because that's what worked for them long time ago. So it worked for Dave Ramsey, and some of the common sense advice that he gives, which is great advice, by the way. It doesn't. He's not a perfect individual. His show is not a perfect individual ideology, and not only that, but the way that they're the way that they form their biased opinions when they review things. Yes, we all know, well, at least people who are educated know that a lot of these projects out here in the crypto space are scams. A lot of them are. But guess what? There's a lot of them that aren't. And that's the reality of it is, and that's part of doing your own research. And then they talked about, oh, well, if you had invested in Apple and waited 40 or 50 years, those days are over. I don't know about any of you guys, but as far as I'm concerned, and this is as far as I'm concerned, the government doesn't care about normal everyday individuals are not going to have any money for Social Security by the time we hit an older age. Our money can be and will be controlled by the government, by the way. And these people are telling us, oh, no, you know what? Just go with what you know. And we know this is what we know. And they made a statement, right? And it's not a bunch of people say it, but it's not time. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market, right? We also hear other crypto YouTubers say this exact same thing. Well, you know what? If you go back 10 years and you say, oh, well, if I had invested in Bitcoin, where would you be now? You compared to the stock market, right? Oh, by the way, how much is the stock market manipulated? And look out how much the overall cap for the total money invested. I believe it's like 100 trillion or so in the stock market. We're barely at $2 to $3 trillion in the crypto market. And so when you're talking about scams and projects and these different things, yeah, if you invested in these projects, especially the big ones, you're going to make a lot of money because obviously it's something new. I'm talking crypto. Now, as far as the stocks are concerned, yeah, you would have made a lot of money, but you would have made a lot of money over a 20, 30-year time frame. And then not only that, but look at how, as I was stating before, I was getting ready to get into it. If the stock market can be manipulated, don't you guys think that the crypto market can be manipulated too? By who? By the rich people, right? Now, the only difference is that we, meaning the poor, working class, or the people who don't make a lot of money, have an opportunity to move forward. And if you educate yourself and understand exactly what's happening throughout the world, you can move forward and you can have life-changing money. When the last time somebody, other than the GameStop thing, I don't even want to talk about that because that's a whole different conversation. But when the last time somebody made life-changing money from the stock market? I'll wait. Oh, you don't know anybody? Now, not personally, but just overall. Only the rich people, right? And that's one of the examples that they use is, oh, well, this billionaire who invested in it, he's making billions of more dollars because it's like a Ponzi scheme. Now, I did talk about how Bitcoin and some of these other projects proof of work are extremely similar to multi-level marketing pyramid schemes. I've told you guys that was back in my video on Bitcoin. However, when you really truly educate yourself on exactly what's going on throughout the world, the end story is this: nobody cares. If you're rich, let me put it this way: if you're rich and you make a whole lot of money and you put, I don't know, you can put 2%, and that's one of the things. Let me start. I'm going around in circles. You can put 2 to 3% in and make millions of dollars, no problem, no skin off your back. And not only that, but if it doesn't work out, not only it's cool, but it'll always work out for them. Why? Because we're so new, so young in the crypto market that over time, just about everything will grow, right? So if you wait 2 to 3 years or 4 years, you'll make money if you invest in the proper projects and the right projects. Now, as far as being able to discern what projects you use, is the same reason why I'm able to discern you got to be able to discern information and kind of use critical thinking skills, right? So if you use critical thinking skills, you'll be able to understand the biased opinions and biased statements that people make. And it, obviously, on the Dave Ramsey show, they are extremely biased. Now, am I one of the things that I was concerned about when people make statements is, oh, well, this guy, we don't know who he is, and he's not even a millionaire or billionaire. He has no record or anything else in between. You know what they're basically saying? They're basically saying that the everyday average American, or whoever is out there, people in the world, not even American, people throughout the world, are dumb and uneducated or can't prove themselves because they don't have a degree, because they don't, what's your level of education? I'll listen to you. You got a CPA, and you got all of these people out here in the crypto space, not the crypto space, excuse me, in the stock markets and Goldman Sachs and all this shit. You got JP Morgan. Why don't you talk about JP Morgan? Why don't you talk about JP Morgan saying, oh, you know what? I was against Bitcoin, but now I'm for Bitcoin. Why is that? It's because of what it provides. This, if you guys have to understand, being in the stock market is not just, oh, I got some extra money, I'll just throw it in there. You got to know how the process works. You got to understand when you can and can't take out your money. You got to understand what the dividends are, or what dividends are, and all of these, what bonds are, and all of these other things, the S&P 500, and the difference between all of the different kinds of stocks out there. You got to understand it all. So you got to be able to understand the process in the first place before you even make money. And that's why they say always consult your financial advisor. Well, now you need somebody else to tell you how you can invest your money, because you don't know how to educate yourself on the process of getting into the stock market. And I'm going to tell you guys, that is not for the everyday person that's just trying to put groceries on their table. Now, for some of the people who are trying to put groceries on their table and they invest, I don't know, a couple of $100 into the crypto space, is great. Now, I gave you guys an example before. I don't even know what's going to happen with this whole BitGert thing. But what happened with BitGert? Guys, look at it over time. From the time that I made my video asking about BitGert, Saitama, I asked you guys about Bitcoin, Saitama, and Shiba Inu. And I asked you guys why you guys invested in those projects. Well, I was basically getting an idea. I had already put a little bit to the side. And obviously I don't make a lot of money, so I put a very, very little off to the side. And what happened? BitGert took off, right? And so if it took off and I made a couple of extra bucks from it, there's no skin off my back from being educated. All I gotta know is, hey, you know what? Should I take out? Should I skim off the top? Should I do these things? And those are all financial things that you have to, that's a personal thing for you. Because I know there's a lot of people, when they make a couple of, by the way, I cannot wait for that day, but one day maybe, you make a couple $100,000, and you make a couple $100,000, and some people are going to go out, they're going to do what? Some people are going to gamble it away. Some people are going to go buy Lamborghinis. Some people are going to buy a house for themselves, for their moms, or for whatever to make their situation better. Some people are going to get out of debt, right? So that's my goal, is to get out of debt. So once I'm completely and totally out of debt, because I do believe in being out of debt and not actually owing anybody else money, right? Because I believe in that, that means that that the crypto space eventually, over time, will afford me that possibility to be able to pay off my car, which is, as you guys know, it's a regular Toyota Camry base model. Okay, so I'm just saying that's what I have, because I believe in just trying to get to, as I'm trying to live, just trying to get to one point A to point B is the best, is in my best interest. But not only that, but man, I haven't been filling it on the gas pumps as some other people, because I have a Toyota, like a 4-cylinder Toyota Camry, so it's not as bad. But anyway, going back to that, what happened? You have to understand that everybody's going to use their money differently, right? And then also, once you get to that place and understand what the market is. Now, one of the statements that they made on Dave Ramsey, was he stated, now by the way, you guys know that I'm not, a lot of people, they're like, oh well, he's on here and he's talking about Dave Ramsey because it'll give him more subscribers. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, I could care less about subscribers. You guys know that I make videos every once in a blue moon. I'm not trying, I've always said this from the very beginning, this is not me just trying to get subscribers and stuff like that. This is me trying to educate and really talk to people, because that's something that I can do. And if I have the knowledge, I'm going to provide it for other people for free, whether you believe me or not, or whether you feel like I'm educated or not. That's not my thing. That's going to be on you. So going back to what I was saying, when you have got lost, that's when you know you're getting of old age, when you be talking and then you get off track. I get off track all the time and then I don't even remember what I was talking about. But anyway, going back to Dave Ramsey show. Oh yeah, then I remember what I was talking about. Going back to Dave Ramsey show. They don't understand, and I said all this to say this. They don't understand that there are working Americans, and I'm just saying Americans because they're from over here in America, but there are working people across the world that are trying to find a way out of their system because their system is not working for them. The system is not working for the everyday average person that's going to work, that's working 8 hours a day and have to deal with bad bosses all the time, that have to deal with all kinds of drama outside of work. And by the way, some of it is self-inflicted. That's not for me to judge. Some of it is not self-inflicted. So we have to deal with all of these things across the world, and our hard work and our energy. And like I stated before, people, this is all about energy. What is your energy providing you? Do you have first? Let's talk about. I'm going to talk about this real quick, and then I'm going to get back to the Dave Ramsey show, because it's a great segue. After I leave here, what are you using your energy for, and what is energy? So when you put your hard work and your heart, your sweat into something, some of you guys are sacrificing your body, aka some military members, and obviously I'm a vet. Some people are sacrificing their time. We have a lot of nurses out there, a lot of teachers out there working overtime. Firefighters, all of these guys are doing a lot, trying to take care of their families and also serving their country. And you take all of that hard-earned extra money, and if you put it into a 401k or Roth IRA or whatever, you can't control that. You have no control. By the way, if the stocks take off, yeah, you have to pay a penalty as far as taxes. And there'll always be taxes. If some of you guys don't like taxes, I'm letting you know right now, there's always going to be taxes. It is what it is. You're just going to have to deal with it. All right. And you know, I hate it. But I know some people out there probably try to use it to skirt taxes. But the reality of it is that there's just no way with the current system that we're in, obviously. So you got all of that stuff. You got so many things that's working against you as a regular everyday person. You have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself. So yes, that means that less videos on Facebook and Twitter, time on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and watching cat videos and all these different things, and more of educating yourself. One of the reasons why I actually listen to the Dave Ramsey show, guess what, people? I'm always researching and doing everything I can to educate myself, and I'm gathering information from all over the place, and I'm discerning what information I should put in. Should I put in this information in my life? Should I apply this information in my life? Oh, that was a great idea. So I'm not saying that the Dave Ramsey show are pathetic. I'm just saying that those people are extremely biased and cannot take things and talk about things from an unbiased point of view. And that's extremely important, because we also have a lot of people on cryptocurrency side. They can't talk about things from an unbiased point of view. Why? Because their opinions, oh man, this crypto is going to be the best. It's going to be the only one left standing. Shiba Inu, oh my goodness, man, they're making restaurants, and countries are thinking about adopting Shiba Inu, and it's going to be great, and it's going to take over Bitcoin. I understand everyone is all excited and have emotions in every project, right? And including me, I'm biased to Holochain because I believe in their technology and I understand what their technology is trying to do on a very, very deep level. But people, you got to be able to do that. And you got to leave your emotions out of it and say, okay, what makes sense? So when I watch the Dave Ramsey show, because I listen to almost everything, a lot of different YouTubers and all this kind of stuff, and I listen to the Dave Ramsey show, and they help a lot of people, and they help old ladies, a widow, a lady that just became a widow, and they have a heart for people, and they're trying to get people out of debt and everything else in between. But one of the things that I think that they are failing overall is they don't understand that there's a certain bias that you got to get rid of, and technology can move the world forward, right? We should use that technology to move that world forward. The world forward. We cannot stunt ourselves. We're going more towards a world where the governments and all because of blockchain. It's not even just because of blockchain. We're looking at a lot of social issues and all of this stuff. Obviously, they're important to some people more than others. That's not the point here. But the point is that when it comes to finances becoming more decentralized, meaning nobody has any control over one specific thing, and you possibly have control over your own money or your own energy that you put in to working. You can go back and say, you know, I paid 50 cents or something every single week from my job, and now I have this. Yeah, you can do that with the stock market, but as I stated before, I don't want to trust anything. I don't want to have anything in my investments to where I have to trust that the some complicated process. And yeah, I did. You know, I don't consider myself a dummy. I tried. Or I'm not extremely intelligent either. I'm just a very simple person. But I tried to understand stocks. I tried to do stocks, right? Especially, I'll say the R word, Robinhood. I tried to do Robinhood when it first came out, and I made a couple of dollars. Taxes hit me hard on that one. I think I invested like $400 and it got like 700 and some dollars. So because it was over that 600 hump thing, I had to do taxes for it. It wasn't even a lot, but at least I made something off of it. But no, that's not my thing. I understood that stocks is not going to be my thing. And then they were talking about one of the things that they were talking about was, man, there's almost 20,000. And as I always state, I always joke about this, right? I say, hey, you know what? You go ahead and push that refresh button and see another cryptocurrency project added. And that's another crypto token or coin is added. And you know, is really bad, but it is what it is. And that's why I say, you guys, you really have to educate yourself. If you don't educate yourself, again, as I've told you before, and I know the Dave Ramsey show ain't gonna put it this way, but I'm gonna put it this way. If you don't educate yourself, you're gonna get fucked in life. That just is what it is. And I really hate to use that word, but that word really emphasizes exactly what's going to happen to you when you don't use your mind in the correct spot, or you are uneducated or ignorant about something. I felt it from a legal point of view. I don't know all the rules and regulations, but I was wrongly treated at LA Fitness or Exporter Fitness, whatever they want to call themselves, and I was arrested. And I didn't know I could possibly be arrested just for not doing something. But in the state of Florida, the law is the law. It is what it is. But that's what happened to me, and that all happened because I've never been arrested before. I'm a good citizen. I don't understand what's going on. I thought only bad people got arrested. Not no silly stuff like this or kicked out or whatever. So again, we can have a lot of biased viewpoints on certain things, but unless you really truly sit down, hunker down, and educate yourself on what you are doing with your money, you need your dollar to stretch more than ever before. Educate yourselves. Educate yourselves on what's happening in the world and how that's going to affect you. Educate yourself on how you can invest in the proper cryptocurrency projects moving forward. especially the ones, and that's one of the things that they don't mention on Dave Ramsey, and I think that's on the Dave Ramsey show, and I think that's because they're not very educated with it. The ones that actually have true utility. So the crypto projects that have true utility are the ones that's going to take off. I do understand how it's complicated, the NFT space and all that. Now, the NFT space and the metaverse is extremely complicated for me. And I'm huge in it. I love VR. I go in VR all the time and play Beat Saber and stuff like that. I love stuff like that. But guess what? I don't really understand owning things on virtual reality. I don't get it. That's not for me to get. If you're into that thing, that's wonderful. Same thing with NFTs. I get NFTs. I get the not being able to have a non-fungible token and the different ways that you can use it, not just for art, but for other ways. I do understand that point, but I don't understand. There's a lot of hype in the NFT market, and I really don't I don't get it, and I'm not going to jump into it. That's just something. You don't have to know everything about everything. You just have to know a little bit about something and say, well, you know what? Do I want to apply that into my life? Okay. So that's one of the most important things. And lastly, I'll close with this because I know this video is long. I know half of you guys have already clicked off and the other half have fallen asleep. So, and then there's a couple of you guys, shout out to you guys because I know you guys always stick around. But I know that I talk a lot. I do go in circles a lot. I'm not the greatest with speakers, but I know that I'm not a dummy either. And I need you guys to understand that not everybody who makes sense or has common sense. I believe that every human being, I said this in my last video, every human being has something to put in, have something to say, something of value to give us as human beings so that we can learn and we can grow together. All of these things when it comes to especially in the crypto space, they were saying, oh, well, there's 20,000 projects. Well, yeah, there's 20,000 projects, but guess what? There's a lot of projects or a lot of things on the stock market. And some people have gotten rich from the stock market by taking, and then this is what they used to do. They used to literally take a dart and they used to throw it at the newspaper and see which one it hit. Say, all right, I'm invested in that one. Why? Because what else can you do? There were no videos back in the day. There were no startup companies to explain what their tech is, right? So it was more of a risk. Back in the day, it's less of a risk now because everyday Americans, all of us across the world, I keep saying Americans because I'm in America, but everybody across the world can educate themselves properly, okay, on whatever they want to invest in. So again, I'm not a huge fan of proof of work, but I do understand what's happening because all of the money that was into the system, we haven't even started in the crypto space yet. You guys have to understand that all the money that's in the stock market system right now, when just 10% of that switches over to the crypto market as people start gaining education, really understanding what's happening and what's going on, then we'll get to that, okay? So for some of you guys, I know this video was long, so that's it for Dave Ramsey. Hopefully at the end of this video, I'll put it down at the description below. Now, let's talk about exactly what is happening throughout the world. I want you guys to really pay attention. Anybody that tells you that they know exactly what's going to happen throughout the world or some event, they're either a liar or they're part of the people who are in serious control of things. A lot of people believe in following the money. Now I'm going to lay off of money real quick, and I'm just going to talk about the situations that has happened throughout time over here throughout across the world. So we have wars that are happening. I'm not gonna comment on specifically what's happening over there, but there are wars that are happening. There are wars that are happening right now that we're not even aware of. And that's one of the things that you have to understand. There are wars that are about to happen that's going to be a direct, that's going to directly affect our financial system, right? And it's already affecting our financial system because people are deciding to say, hey, you know what? Let me not put my money here because it can go to zero. uh, a lot of people in different states, especially over countries, and especially over in Turkey, right? They're really struggling with an inflation. And my advice to be with any country, my advice would be pick one, right? I personally, if I ran a country, I would pick one crypto project that has not taken off yet, that's very popular, and I will invest in it, and I will tell my people to invest in it. And what that's going to do is that's going to spark something throughout across the world. I think if Turkey legalize makes Shiba Inu legal tender, I think that would be the smartest move that they can ever make, because not a lot of people are invested in Shiba Inu across the world, comparatively speaking. And so now you can make your people money, and your people will be rich beyond all means, because once the country do it, everybody else will say, okay, well, that's okay, cool. Ukraine, same thing. I would have just picked one. I'm not picking Bitcoin because it's already one of the biggest things, and I got all other stuff. Now, I probably use my crypto holdings to put some stuff into my crypto holdings into Bitcoin, a little bit into Bitcoin. You'd be a fool not to. But I would invest in a coin or a token that does not exist. Now, if we have 20,000, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's approximately 195 countries throughout the world. If we just take a little bit of one of the top projects that has something completely and totally out, and that you can utilize it, and there you go. I for the life of me, I don't understand, and I'm speaking to everyone over here in America. You have to understand that Americans, or just because we're over here in America, don't mean that we know everything. Don't mean that our culture understands other cultures or is open to other cultures. You, it's a slight. You guys have to understand that there's a slight bias in what people here in America have been taught through television, through social media, through a number of different things, because that's what's going to affect you and how you use your money, and how it's a cultural thing, right? How you use your money is extremely important. So if you're going to use your money for things that are not going to stretch for you, I feel sorry for you. I just to give you guys an example, I bought a PS4 a long time ago, and if somebody, I'm not spending that amount of money on a PS4, but the ROI, or the return on interest, as far as entertainment is concerned, and the lack of diminishing returns, as far as entertainment value goes, it has not decreased, but actually it's stabilized itself. You guys have to understand that I've saved a whole lot of money. You really have to look at how you're using your money and what you're using your time and energy for. If some people, man, y'all know how much I love hot water. I would love to have a hot tub. If I get a hot tub, man, that return on investment would be 1,000-fold, because not only is it good for my body, but it's also very comfortable, very relaxing, and I can do multiple things. I can look at YouTube, listen to YouTube videos. I can read. I can learn some things. Maybe have a nice deep conversation with one of my kids. These are things that you can do. So again, just be careful what's happening. I really want to have a talk with you guys about what's happening in the world, some of the best moves that some of these countries could have. Now, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but if a country really wanted to take care of its people, allow them to use one project. And there are 20,000 out, there's only 195 countries. And I know for a fact that there are 195 coins or tokens out there that can be used. Now, obviously, I understand what's happening with Holochain, the Holo organization, and what they're trying to do. And they're trying to make it, a place where everybody can use their coins and their tokens and disperse it however they want. And they have ownership of whatever coin or token. They have full ownership of who they are, so they're their own node in a sense. But I really like that's one of the reasons why I like holochain, because I believe that holochain is not going to be the coin that rules them all. I do believe that the tech is going to be the one to rule them all, and there's going to be a lot of other blockchain projects developed within holochain. And I think the Holo organization, and by the way, you guys need to do research on the Holo organization itself, not holochain, but the Holo organization, and really find out, like, see what's happening in the scenes in the background. Okay, really do your deep research on this stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna close it at that because I'm almost getting into some things that I'm getting involved with. So I really want to. It's like I'm scratching, like I want to tell everybody, but I can't. And also I have to do some formulating of some things. So, but anyway, please, you guys, as I always state, do your own research. Do your own research. Please do your own research. And last but not least, this world is getting extremely dangerous out there. There's a lot of people out there that are mad, confused, and really stressed out, right? Between the pandemic, between the pandemic, between wars, and even before then, back in 2008, 2009, when the economy crashed, you have even before the pandemic. Listen to this. I was talking about how for 3 months straight, they put like $70 million or 70 billion. I don't know, I forgot what the exact amount into the repo market because they didn't want things to crash. A couple of years back, and about 3 years back, I think it was right. Yeah, it was right before the pandemic. You know, you guys have to understand on the markets and all of this stuff. The world has been failing. Our systems have been failing. Our governments have been failing, and our municipalities have been failing. Everybody has been failing, and you can tell by all of the social, issues that each country, not just this country, each country is having. And they're not able to be flexible enough or quick enough to understand what's really happening or the cry of their people. And I think that's most important. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Again, do your own research, do your own research, do your own research. And last but not least, my friends, above all else, stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.